Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a going green tag that has been circulating, and I wanted to bring you guys outside to a green space because I thought that was appropriate for doing this tag. Finding a green space in Los Angeles that is quiet and green has been more than a challenge, but hopefully this is my third time shooting this video, so I hope this time everything works out okay. So the first question in the tag is, what started it all off for you? And for me, it was when I read a book in 2008 called Mastering Your Metabolism. I had been reading a lot of books about health at that time because I was trying to manage some symptoms that I was having related to menopause, weight gain, and hot flashes. And I came across this book by Jillian Michaels, the personal trainer, where she talked about her own struggles with weight and how she basically ruined her metabolism by eating a diet that was low in fat and high in preservatives and artificial sweeteners. But the book chronicles a whole lot of different chemicals and their impact on the body. And after I read the book, the first thing I did was switch out my toothpaste and my deodorant because I didn't want fluoride and I didn't want aluminum. Okay, question number 2. What was the first thing to go? Actually, the first thing was in 1998, 99, somewhere around in there, I read this article from the New York Times that talked about how some ridiculously high number of Americans, like I think 99% or something, now have Teflon in their bloodstream because of the Teflon coated pans and the non-stain coatings on carpets and upholstery. So I immediately went and threw out all of my non-stick cookware and replaced it with cast iron, enamel coated cast iron, stainless steel, glass, because I got rid of all the plastics too at the same time. And what I noticed is that food doesn't stick on cast iron or anything else. It was just as non-stick as Teflon was. So that was probably the first thing that I did. That was definitely the first thing I did, but it wasn't. I didn't continue along the same lines. That was kind of all that I did at the time until I read that book in 2008, and that's when gradually I started to change out, like I said, my toothpaste, my deodorant, and I think I eventually changed out my sunscreen, and then that was about it. Let's see, what are you, or what did you struggle to let go of? So probably makeup has been my biggest struggle, because I want high-performing products, but I don't necessarily want them to have toxins, chemicals, and things like that. So it's been interesting and fun because it's great when I find new products that work. But yeah, that's probably been my biggest struggle is makeup. Let's see. What has been your best find, i.e. a green product or a tip that you're really glad you found or learned? There's 2. The first is going to be Vitacost, which I had no idea that there were these online retailers that sold nothing but green products. So that was really exciting to find that website and to find that there were other websites like it. And then the other thing was Environmental Working Group and their databases, the Skin Deep database being one that I've talked about before. But the first thing that I found was their Dirty Dozen, and it was their list of the 12 most heavily sprayed fruits and vegetables, sprayed with pesticides. And they also put out a companion list called the Clean 15, and these are the least heavily sprayed fruits and vegetables. And so because of those, you're able to buy organic when you need to, if it's something that you're going to be buying a lot of, or buy conventional if it's not something that you eat that much, or if it's relatively clean. Let's see, what has been the worst thing about going green, and what has been the hardest to transition or find an adequate green replacement of? So for me, the biggest frustration is because my skin is so sensitive to things like fragrances and certain ingredients, but especially to anything derived from corn. It's been frustrating because a lot of green products still use corn in it, and it doesn't matter, if it's non-GMO or whatever, I still can't use it. So that's been pretty much the biggest frustration, because there are products that I want to try, but I can't because they have cornstarch or whatever in them. Let's see. Anything else to add? Any tips or tricks to pass on? Yeah. What I love is when I'm out and about, when I meet people, to tell them that I'm into, green living, non-toxic, chemical-free, that's high-quality foods, whatever, and to find that there are other people that share the same ideas, that maybe are further along than I am, or just starting like I am. And so it's great to be able to meet people and know that we have this sort of same goal in common. And I also love it when I go to farmers markets or butcheries or whatever you want to call them, and talk to the vendors, especially butchers, who love to tell you how they clean and process their meats. And then the other thing that that is a tip is meetup groups. I think meetup is in every major city, and there are groups out there that I've joined that eat the same way that I do, and are dedicated to clean living, as well. And so it's a great chance to meet like-minded people who especially have been on this journey a lot longer than I have, and through that I can sort of expand my knowledge base. That's it. All right, without keeping you any longer, I'm just going to say take care, everybody. Have a great day or week ahead, whatever you're having, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye, everybody.